shitty tight ends are. So if you can get anybody that elevates above the pack even a little bit, that's certainly worth your time to listen to. You got Hurst going against Atlanta as your tight end 5. That's 4 spots higher than the experts. It's actually a significant difference, 5th and 9th, when you're talking about guys up at this position. Why do you like Hurst more than they do?
Yeah, I really wanted to emphasize him because I get a lot of questions, Jonnu or Hurst or this guy. I think Hurst is in a great spot. One, New Orleans is bottom 7 against tight ends. They've been very generous to the position. But 2, Hurst gets volume that very few tight ends see. 7 targets or more in 3 straight games, 6, 5, 7 catches, 68, 54, 62 yards. Nothing amazing, but 16, 13, 10, and 13 for PPR points at the tight end position. All top 10 days. He hasn't been outside the top 10 in 4 straight weeks. That's a very, very nice floor. So I bake that into the ceiling that comes with facing New Orleans and what I expect to be a shootout style game. If I love Jameis as much as I do, if this game becomes a points bonanza, they're going to need to factor in the fact that Calvin Ridley might be out if he's in, maybe at less than 100%. I think Hayden Hurst could definitely see the path to 8 to 10 targets because Matty Ryan might have to chuck it 40 to 45 times. And in a soft matchup, the fact that the Saints are allowing 5.3 receptions per game to tight ends, I really think he could rack up another 7, 8 catches, maybe find pay dirt and get you a nice 15-point day. Really big fan of Hayden Hurst. The floor, the ceiling's not crazy, but the floor is so stable at such an unstable position. And the ceiling is still, 16-ish points. I like it a lot.
All right. Well, this next one hurts me a little bit. Tight end lower, Dallas Goedert going against Cleveland. You got him as your tight end 12, 5 spots below the experts. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. I picked this guy up because you were so high on him a couple weeks back because he was coming off IR. There was all this talk, and I thought, well, my tight end situation's terrible, but I'm going to grab this guy. What a slick play this is going to be. This is going to probably be the difference maker in some of these games. Man, he's been terrible.
Terrible.
Like to the point where he got like 7 PPR points last week, and I was like, ooh, not bad.
Seriously. Just like, yeah, the fact that he squeaked out 7 last week was like a godsend because there was like at halftime, I think
it was going to be 0, I think, at halftime. I think he had 0 points. And I was like, oh my God. And then he got like 3 catches for 40 yards or something.
I don't get what it is either because the narrative makes
Is it that Wentz sucks or is it him?
I think it's more Wentz. I don't think he sucks because I you know how it is as a fantasy owner where you like laser in on your guy and you watch him and you're just like, every play I watch him, he's wide open. Now maybe that's owner bias because I'm just like, throw it to fucking my guy.
Throw him the fucking ball.
Throw him the fucking ball. That's kind of what it comes down to. As I watch him every play and I see this dude looking great. Like he's burning linebackers. He's getting deep. He's working the middle of the field and he's just not seeing the balls. Ultimately, all the narratives line up. Frank Reich loves to pepper tight ends, or not Frank Reich anymore. Doug Peterson, Frank Reich, all together. That's part of their scheme. That's the offense they've all been raised on. So, no Zach Ertz. All those targets are going to go to Dallas Goedert, right? Well, Dick Rod fucking comes in and leads the team in receiving with 4 catches and 60 yards. Insanity. And that's what this fucking year.
The fact that led the team in receiving should tell you something also.
Exactly. Isn't that just disgusting? The Browns, give up a decent amount in terms of receptions per game, 5.7 to tight ends. I imagine we're going to see some balls go to the tight end position. But how can you trust this guy? I think everyone's ranking him. The fact that he's a top 7 tight end this week is like everyone's ranking him on what we expected him to be, what all the narratives suggest he should be. But we just got to open our eyes and see
him, Jarvis Landry, and Zeke.
Exactly. We just have to open our eyes and see that Dick Rod is their leading fucking receiver. And that's all you really fucking need to know at this point. I don't want anything to do with this offense other than maybe Jalen Reagor going deep and blowing up.
Remember when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
Fuck you.
Hail Mary, Kyle Rudolph, 6% owned. Man, speaking of guys that used to be somebody and aren't anybody anymore, he's 6% owned. He's going against Dallas. Obviously, that's intriguing in itself. I mean, you got anything else to say except he's going against Dallas? And, I mean, the Vikings looked okay in their last football game.
That's about it. Dallas is horrible. Vikings look decent. Irv Smith's going to be out. I wouldn't recommend – Irv Smith should be out at least with a groin injury. If Irv Smith plays, then all bets are off because Irv Smith is the one getting the red zone looks, getting the pass game usage. But with him out last week, we did see 4 catches, 63 yards. I mean, 10 points. He did fumble it, so I guess he ended up at 8. He had 8 points, and he was the tight end 12 last week, is what you need to know about the position. But in an even easier matchup against Dallas, 10 points to the position. If Irv Smith's out, I bet we see a pay dirt call from Kyle Rudolph. I could see him up to 50, 60 yards. You're looking at 12 to 15 fantasy points from a guy that's 6% owned right now at a position that nobody can figure out. I think Kyle Rudolph, if Irv Smith's out, is going to be one of the best tight end plays you could have, especially that's available on the waiver wire. If you're desperate, stash this guy and let's see if Irv Smith plays.
Yeah, you remind me of the way we're talking about the tight end position. I'm thinking now, it's like you're like, oh, if he scores 12, 15 points, that's great for him. And it's like the bar is so low for tight ends now that you're looking for anything. I don't know. Do you ever watch Family Guy?
Sometimes. Oh yeah, I used to.
There's an episode where Peter decides that he's converting the family to Judaism. And so Stewie goes to like an all Jewish preschool or something. And at one point they're in PE class and the ball rolls in front of him and Stewie like stares at it for a second. And then he just kicks the ball and it goes like 8 inches or something. And then the next scene is just this big statue of Stewie that like in gold that just says Stewie Griffin, greatest Jewish athlete ever, or something like that. It's like, I feel like that's where we're at with tight ends right now. It's like, Dallas Goedert had 7 points last week. Hello, tight end 3. Right.
Yeah. Want to take that one home? You should.
Right.
Oh my
God. Let's get into the mailbag.
What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.